Hello and welcome back to SNHU Esports, live from the Connection Esports Arena. My name is Sho. You can call me Shane. Joined here with Connor. How are we doing today?
Pretty good, and I'm ready for some Overwatch tonight.
Me too. I am super excited to get into the Sapphire versus Newberry College, a familiar matchup. We've had this one before. Let's go ahead and hop into our map overview of the night. See what our first map coming up is. It will be a control map as the first pick, so that'll be interesting to see how that goes in. A lot of the time, we usually get pretty similar first picks for control.
Right.
We usually see like the Lijiang come out here for Sapphire. That's kind of their map of choice. It gets a little bit different for something like Pearl. Sometimes they'll go in like Busan or something like that. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at our map overview.
So we are seeing that Lijiang first, just like you predicted, right?
My crystal ball.
Yeah, you have the script right in front of you, right?
I do. Yeah, but don't say that. Don't hold on. They're not supposed to know that. Okay. Let's go ahead and hop into game here as we get ready to go into our first map of the night, Lijiang Tower, to get things kicked off here. A classic start to our night. Sapphire. I mean, this is a map they have played a ton, so going forward into this should definitely be a very, very familiar sight. A lot of things we've already seen here in terms of compositions and strategies and things like that here. But as we started off on Night Market, this is a little bit different compared to some of the other maps here, and we're going to see the ball come out from Sapphire to start things off.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think, I mean, they might switch off of it, but I mean, ball definitely has that rollout that you need on this map. If you can get to that point first, and if you we've seen that before with the Symmetra, right? Normally they use that Symmetra to kind of get out of spawn and just have that fast rollout, but you can use some weird teleporter positions to kind of get the edge on the enemy there. So I'm interested to see how they're going to make this work here.
Yeah, we normally see, just rolling directly out of spawn with that teleporter is interesting, but Newberry are holding on to it here. Very likely, yeah, going to see the teleport up here onto the window, trying to take the point as quickly as possible, and with the presses on the Ramatra, this makes a lot of sense to just try and get entrenched immediately and try and hold them back with that Omnic mode primary fire, the staff, able to just kind of put a lot of damage out at a distance. Siren on the cast here, just trying to find some shots through. Here's going to be Avery and J-Man who find the first down here, as 2-3 now, as Nemesis also ends up falling. Only 2 players left for Newberry College on the point with the presses and Omni going down. It is a pretty good fight from Sapphire. They're going to claim the point, start to build up some percentage, and we're going to see some swaps come out from Newberry College after that teleporter gambit didn't work out.
Yeah, that's some big damage coming out from Osiren there on that hit scan. Normally, I think we see it the other way around there, but he's on the hit scan and just performing tonight, hitting those shots.
Yeah, something that's really interesting about seeing Pepto and Osiren here on our offensive side is these two can really swap between each other's roles a lot of time. We'll see them playing Tracer depending on the map, depending on who's really got a more comfortable Tracer there. Pepto will be able to find that pick on a Nemesis right to start things off, but Biso gets taken down by Depressus in Nemesis mode, just flying forward. Osiren not going to be able to get back to the ledge. His roll on cooldown. J-Man finding a nice double kill there. Pepto is trying to stall for as long as possible, but can't stay alive. Almost had a pulse bomb there. Unlikely that it would have been able to do too much though in that 1 versus 3 situation. A very, very, very tough start to that fight as Newberry College get things rolling here, building up some percentage on the point.
Right, yeah, they build up that percentage, but I mean, Pepto got that ult charge off of that reset there. It's going to be able to have that early pulse bomb for this fight here. And we're going to also see there's that stick there, going to get Nemesis out of the fight very early there. And Omni quickly falling after the Pepto as well there. Is going to be 2 picks for SNHU here onto this point here.
J-Man trying to run. Depressus is going to be able to find a pick there onto Biso once again, but a good double kill from Osiren and Console Noob here are going to take down the remaining 2 players of Newberry College. And right as Newberry College almost gets up to where Sapphire is going to reclaim control of the point and start to bring things back up as they near 50%, about halfway through this round. As long as they're able to hold on to the hill, that is. Newberry College here, as they push forward. We saw how that last fight turned out before when they were able to claim the hill, so we could very easily see this start to come forward here, especially with Annihilation ready from Depressus. This could be scary if he decides to go all in.
Yeah, and we're going to see Omni kind of separated from his team here. The beat still comes out, and it could offer a lot of protection here for their team, and that Nemesis mode just shredding through the backline of SNHU right now. Depressus gonna try to take the point for them here. Console Noob doing a very good job of delaying that, getting that contest, as well as Pepto helping him out here, looking for that support.
The recall!
Just gonna barely save him there. That recall actually so clutch. And Depressus just holding on to that block in Nemesis mode is actually gonna buy enough time to keep him alive there. For the moment he is looking pretty low still. He has Omni up by his side there, but he finally falls to a Siren there.
Newberry College, they're going to finally be able to flip the point here and start to bring things up. Sapphire almost found to go all the way, though, and they just found 4 quick kills. They might just be able to capture the point and finish things off here. They might potentially have a touch, but Nemesis going down as Siren holding the front door shut is going to be able to close out round 1 here in favor of Sapphire. A very, very nice round there. 143%. Good kind of fight put up from Newberry on Night Market, but Sapphire always looks so strong on Night Market.
Right, yeah, this map, I feel like they're notorious for just really performing on, but, I mean, Lijiang in general is really, I mean, they pick it for a reason, right?
Oh, yeah.
They are, I feel like they're kind of accustomed to it, and so far, with the way that these compositions are going, I think the Cass and Tracer are both pretty meta right now, but the Zen and Brigitte, you don't normally see together. You normally see the Rush.
The Kiriko.
Rush. Kiriko.
The
right.
Kiriko, yeah, no, the Brigitte is definitely a little bit weird, and it does kind of help get a little bit more peel out for the team. I know this is definitely a character that One Trick is very familiar with and very comfortable on, so it's interesting to see kind of how that changes up. We're not seeing Kiriko from either side right now. Omni actually on the Moira, interesting pick to start things off here, but finding that first pick will be Omni falling out, and Newberry College having a tough time keeping themselves healthy and alive here with only one healer, only that Lucio alive. Going to be very, very tough to actually be able to get control in these fights. Constantly finding a double kill there. Taking on Depressus and Nemesis. Avery falling down as well. Going to be just J-Man left, and with him very quickly about to get taken out. It's a team kill for Sapphire. They're going to go ahead and grab control of the point.
Yeah, once again, getting that first control of the point there is going to be able to give them the edge here in at least tempo and time. They're going to be able to build up their percentage here. And I mean, getting at least 10% before they're even able to contest at all is a pretty big deal. But we see that Sombra actually going to be able to deal with Captain and Tracer both here pretty well there. That Reaper going Wraith mode to block that bomb there is going to save his life there.
Siren's actually still alive there. Almost got booped off by J-Man, but going to quickly find 2 kills for Sapphire. Depress is firing back, taking down One Trick, trying to trade this out. J-Man able to finish off of Siren there, but not before that magnetic grenade is able to find him from the grave. It's just Pepto left here in the thick of things. We'll see if he's able to get too much done here. Doing a great job at contesting, just getting some damage out. Nemesis is going to end up falling, though, and actually Depressus is so low. Pepto, we'll see if he's able to finish off this kill. He will be able to. The sole survivor of that last team fight here. Avery trying to get in the middle of things, but Sapphire doing a great job holding onto the hill, not going to let Newberry get control.
Pepto with that clutch 1v2 is, you know, going to clutch out a lot of percentage here for SNHU. They are at 61% already. And a lot of ult charge is built on their team so far as well. But looking at Newberry's economy, they also are getting close to, you know, that break point where they really could just turn the fight with a bunch of ultimates. Miso going to get caught out there by Depressus in that window there. Siren backing up, maybe looking for an angle here for his ultimate, and Console Noob throwing out those lion mines there and rolling over J-Man.
Really nicely done there from Sapphire, but they are going to get taken out in that team fight. Newberry are going to get control of the hill, start to build things up. Sapphire found 85% on their first hold there, so Newberry College, they're really going to need to hold on to this for a very long time. J-Man actually falling off the map there. Not sure if that was an intentional reset or just a little bit of a mistake there, but that could cost them this upcoming fight here. Depress is popping a Terror Surge, but Osiren's going to be able to finish him off before he's able to get the cast out. EMP coming through, that's 3 hacks. Biso will end up falling from that damage boost. Sapphire just trying to stay alive. Rally is out, but the sound barrier from J-Man is going to be able to keep his team alive even longer, and it looks like they've done a great job at stemming the bleeding there, recovering from that maybe accidental suicide there from J-Man. So doing a really great job of just holding on, keeping control of Siren. They'll pick up a nice little pick, though. Not going to walk away with nothing.
Right, they're trying to cut their losses here, trying to find some picks. Both Pepto and Siren looking low. Pepto will fall to Omni there. And I think that's one of the cool things about the Tracer and Cast combo is both of them are just so resilient. They can get away with so much stuff. Cast with that 250 health makes him, I mean, a lot tankier than a lot of things. He can't get one shot by as much. And Siren gonna find that pick on Avery there with this the switch to Pharah.
Oh, that's scary. And J-Man's going to be able to find the boop there onto one trick, getting knocked over by that concussion blast. Really good adaptive play here. Biso has the Transcendence on deck, going to pop it in the middle of the hill, trying to keep them alive, but 3 quick kills from SNHU Sapphire. Going to turn this fight pretty heavily in their favor. Nemesis just trying to fall out as quickly as possible and get this reset. Newberry College going to be able to tie things up 85 to 85, but they're still holding on and contesting. Sapphire will be able to take control back away. J-Man falling early. That could be bad. A really, really big stagger here for SNHU Sapphire. 95%. Newberry College have to make a move soon, and J-Man is only just now respawning.
Yeah, they're going to have to prematurely commit to this touch here. With that stagger in mind, it's going to be a little bit difficult, but they do have the resources to kind of contest here. Both are looking at a pretty stale ult economy, but there are 2 picks coming up from both sides there. The Somber ult is going to go off, but that is a team wipe there from SNHU, ending that team fight and taking the first map.
Really strong performance here on Lijiang Tower. About what we've come to expect from Sapphire, honestly. Newberry College, they had a really good hold there on that second point, doing a great job at just holding on to that point for so long, which I thought was going to be a big issue for them, but they had no problem doing that, taking a lot of control in those team fights. But unfortunately, this first map was just so dominant for Sapphire, it was really hard for them to actually get things back and sort of stabilize. But that's none of the first map here. Sapphire are going to get started off with a running lead, and we'll see how things continue from here on out. But so far, I think this is looking like it's going to be a pretty good match. Even though it was a 2-0 in the first round there, I think it's still going to be, I mean, these two teams seem pretty evenly matched, if you ask me.
Yeah, I would say the same thing here, looking at how both of those maps went, or those rounds went, it was pretty even, right? I mean, it looked kind of favored towards SNHU, but most of the time, it kind of came down to those really clutch, like, last minute fights there, or just like one little mistake, like a stagger or something, that would end up costing the game and taking home the win. But
that's a big thing I really noticed with Newberry, is there's just a few sort of key mistakes that really kind of, like you said, cost them some of these rounds, right? Like the accidental falling off of the map from the Lucio there on the second point. Just tough. It's tough to deal with in situations like that, and there's not a lot of ways to really predict it. You just got to kind of play more consistent, play better in the future, so it's kind of tough to deal with there. But I mean, even in the first round, right, where Sapphire, I mean, they held onto the hill for a very long time, and it was really hard for Newberry to get control of that. But the team fights were very close, and Newberry were able to swing some really important team fights. Just unfortunately didn't find too much value on the objective, which could just be an issue with the map, could be an issue with the game mode. We'll see exactly how things go forward here, but we're not going to have control in the cards for a little bit here. We're going to have to go all the way to Game 5 to see it again.
Right, yeah. I'm kind of going to miss it, but at the same time, we get to see better game modes. I like Hybrid. But
Hybrid is fun. Hybrid's got that nice variety that's really nice. But let's go ahead and take a look at our map overview. See what's coming up for us next in round 2. Let's go. It's going to be Kings Row. This is a very, very common hybrid pick here, especially for whenever Sapphire is in the hot seat. We see Kings Row a lot of the time. It's a pretty consistent hybrid map. Everyone kind of knows how to play. It's very much a fundamentals heavy map. And it's also a really good sort of proving ground for your tank in particular. It can be really, really brutal if your tank isn't totally, kind of performing exactly how you would hope.
Right, and we might see some switches over to different heroes here for the tanks. I don't think we're going to see Ball on this map, probably. But we could see, like, a Mirror Ramatra matchup, I feel like.
Ramatra's pretty common on this map. I don't think we're going to see it. I don't think we're going to see the Reinhardt as much as I would like to see it. Yeah. He got changed up a little bit, tweaked slightly going into this, and I mean, this is historically a sort of Reinhardt map, Kings Row. So unfortunately, we're probably not going to see him just because some of the tanks right now are just really performing excellently. And Reinhardt, unfortunately, always kind of struggles to get up to average. A lot of the time, seems like a lot of tanks are leaving him in the dust. But we'll see exactly what we're working with here as we're ready to hop into game Kings Row coming up next in map number 2.
Yeah, this has always kind of been that classic map. If you've ever played Overwatch before, this is probably the map
definitely,
right? It definitely teaches you kind of how the game works, and it especially teaches you the basics of hybrid as well. going onto that first point. I feel like the first point there, like,
There it is.
really doesn't matter.
There it is. It's there.
We're
The
gonna see
Reinhardt.
Reinhardt. It is stepping out of spawn. That is confirmed, locked in there.
The scary thing about this is the Ramatra matchup.
Right.
Because Ramatra and Nemesis mode can just punch through Reinhardt's shield.
Yeah.
It's going to be a kind of very, very rough matchup here, and Constant's really going to need to know how to play, particularly in this matchup. It's not a common matchup either, and a lot of the time, a lot of Ramatra players, you can really see them just kind of get away with walking up on Reinhardt's, and it's really hard to deal with. It's a very, very tough matchup, so we'll see exactly how this pans out here. It should be interesting.
Right. Once Ramatra goes Nemesis mode into the Reinhardt, it kind of forces just on the spot a fight. Like the Reinhardt has no option but to, you know, charge at them, firewall, anything. But we are going to see a lot of damage come out from that Ashe very early on. Those dynamite grenades are going to be a lot of damage, and that is so much damage off on this Depressus that early. He's going to fall so early in that fight there, and this is a slaughter for SNHU here.
Yeah, that speed boost was crucial, and you can really see why they're running the kind of Baptiste Lucio instead of that Kiriko Mercy that a lot of teams are running, which Sapphire seems like they've been straying away from a little bit here. You get the Immortality Field of the Reinhardt, which just allows him to stay right in the middle of things, and you can also shield it with his shield, of course. And then the speed boost is also just key for Reinhardt here, and you see it a lot of the time with Ramatra as well, but after that fight goes a little bit south for Newberry, they're actually going to switch over to the Orisa, and this is also a very, very common pick lately.
Yeah, the Orisa, I think, kind of came in favor after like all of the other tanks just kind of got changed or nerfed. And it looks like they are going to be a little bit out of position here. Omni and Depressus trying to get back to safety. Pepto will be able to find Omni later on, but Nemesis finding a pick of his own on one trick. J-Man trying to res Omni here is going to bring him back into the fight, but Depressus just kind of caught out there, and the window comes out from SNHU, providing this excellent kind of, you know, back off, right? It's kind of the back off for you.
They're forcing the disengage here in this fight. I think that's a really smart play, especially after they claimed the presses there. That they still had 4 strong. Newberry able to get the res on the Kiriko, but really just putting the amplification matrix down does just force them to fall back here. For Sapphire, we're seeing some interesting ultimates come up here. Pepto needs to stay alive to keep Deadeye up, and the Mortality Field will come out to try and keep him up, but the statue is just in the wrong place and not going to be able to find anything off of that. Coming close to a beat from one trick, could try and keep his team alive here, but Biso and Pepto don't need it as they find 2 kills. So Siren constantly rounding things up with the last 3. Newberry College gonna have a hard time backing out here as Nemesis also falls. It's a team kill from Sapphire as they hold on once again, and we're really seeing how Console Noob is just flexing on this Reinhardt. This is a very, very tough matchup, and we're seeing Newberry switch tanks once again over to the D.Va.
Yeah, they're switching to that D.Va. We're seeing a lot of switches come out from Newberry, and they have that luxury being so close to that spawn on the attacker side. But I mean, I think they're really just trying to find what works for them into this composition. It's a very heavy brawl comp, and there goes the ultimate from Console Noob, as well as the ultimate from Osiren there is going to lock down a lot of people. The Suzu did what it could to get him out, and it actually seems like they're trying to convert it to Pressus. Getting demeched here is going to offer a lot of space for SNHU.
Yeah, we see, J-Man gets taken out through the Amplification Matrix. Pepto able to find that shot, but Nemesis finding a double kill could start to swing things, especially with this rush coming out from Kiriko. Nemesis picking up another kill as well with Barrage taking on Console Noob. Means Sapphire probably just gonna have to fall back and give up this first point. Very unfortunate, but you usually don't see holds on first for Kings Row go that long. 3 minutes left on the clock for Newberry. They were down to just 1 minute left, and that can be a little bit rough, especially as we get into the later rounds here where Sapphire, I mean, it's going to be really tough for Newberry to hold on the first point for as long as Sapphire did.
Yeah, for sure. They did buy a lot of time for them there. And it's going to be precious time here because 3 minutes isn't really that much. And there's the Deadeye coming out from Pepto. He's going to find 2 there as they poke their heads up over the cart there. Depressus getting demeched is going to fall very shortly here. And looking for Omni. Might find it there, Pepto, trying to get those shots in.
Yeah, well, I mean, just pushing them right back into spawn, and Avery's actually going to get taken out. So it'd be a decent stagger coming out from Sapphire here onto Newberry, forcing them just back to their spawn, continuously pushing the cart back through the arch. This is a really, really good hold here from Sapphire, but maybe a little bit over-aggressive here. They're going to need to learn to, or they're going to need to kind of quickly figure out to back off and adapt to Newberry taking the high ground here, which I think is definitely the right play.
Yeah, and we're going to see Osiren try to block that out there. Depress is separated from his team, is going to have to force that bomb out in order to stay alive.
Yeah, but he's going to get taken out in pilot form anyway. Going to be sent right back to that respawn screen. Nemesis also getting taken out. So does J-Man. Newberry is having a tough time finding these openings that they can really start to play around here. Playing up on these windows, they're just taking so much damage from Pepto and Osiren, who are able to get really, really long-range shots in. See the carpet get laid out. Welcome Matt coming from Avery. Just to try and push them back a little bit more. We'll send it directly to the other side of the amplification matrix, and that could be a little bit brutal, but Osiren is going to be able to pick off Avery before he's able to do too much more. Newberry, once again, just on the other side of this arch, have to wait for the amp matrix to fall down, but Pepto's gonna have another Deadeye up very, very soon, as well as a Blizzard and a beat from Osiren and One Trick. Very stacked ultimates.
Yeah, and there's the Deadeye. The rush is gonna offer a little bit of protection there. The matrix is up, but he waits for it. And it does get a little bit of damage off the presses. And the Blizzard gonna offer so much separation on that team, looking for the team kill here. Separating them off from the rest of their team. They are just trapped in this corridor.
One Trick's not going to survive. That's a rough pick here. He's going to have to get back to the front lines really quick as Newberry start to push their way forward. A big thing here, though, is look at the ultimates for Sapphire versus Newberry. Newberry's only got Barrage, maybe Valkyrie. They've got Valkyrie coming up soon. Sapphire with Beat and Earth Shatter could really start to swing things as they find these big openings.
Yeah, and after that kind of stagger, they're going to have to back up a little bit. They are regrouped here, but they've given up a little bit of space here, which could offer Newberry, different high ground here and other angles to really lay in the damage here. Depress is taking a lot of damage.
Osiren popping the ice block to stay alive through the magnetic grenade. Depress is going to get demeched here, but J-Man's actually able to find that melee kill on the Bisa. The barrage coming out. Nemesis finds a double kill. One Trick's not able to get the beat out fast enough. Only able to save Osiren here. We'll be able to find a pick there on the Depresses, send him right back, but the rest of Newberry College are just soldiering forward here. Now in overtime, no time left in the bank. They got to bring things here to second. For Sapphire, they've got 3 big ultimates coming up.
Yeah, these 3 ultimates could be game-changing here, and it could definitely cut Newberry's offense to a short here. Nemesis is going to have to fight with Pepto here. The hit scan is just a lot of damage that you have to watch out for, especially when that Deadeye comes out. Both Deadeyes on the field right now looking for something, but that Matrix just comes out and blocks it there.
Unfortunate. Nemesis Frozen isn't going to die, just staying alive. Will get pinned. Depresses going to get demeched here, but Consnoob's going to end up falling to Depresses as he fires back, avenging his mech. J-Man trying to stay up in the air, will get taken out by Osiren and One Trick, working in tandem. Now just trying to stay alive as Osiren finds a second kill onto Depresses right there. Nemesis falls to Biso. This is going to be as far as Newberry can make it here, just barely shy of second, but they've got 2 players here still hanging on to the cart. Omni's going to end up falling, just the Tracer left, but this could be some big opportunities for a stall if he's able to stay on the cart, but constantly with a fire strike, going to be able to send him right back. It's going to be the end of our first round here as Sapphire. Pretty good hold here. Newberry made it almost all the way to second, though, which, they went into overtime pretty early into that push. They were just outside of the bar, just through the arches. It's very, very good they were able to make it that sort of extra stretch there. Going to make things just that much harder for Sapphire as they now start their attacking side.
Right, and that was not that bad of a push there from Newberry. They did basically make it to second point. There is just shy of it. But now SNHU is going to have to respond with something equal here or more. And I'm really wondering what they're going to bring up for the composition here in order to do that.
The tank choice is going to be interesting because I don't know if they're going to pick Reinhardt on attack, but it looks like they will. Console Noob's going to send it once again on the Reinhardt, feeling confident in this. Newberry switching back over to the Ramatra. This could be interesting to see how this plays out here because this is now a big reversal on what we saw in the first half. Reinhardt really good at just sort of holding down a specific area. Ramatra arguably better, though, because he's got those ranged options that he can really work around, and then switching over to melee form when he really needs it. We'll see. I think Ramatra is going to have an edge in sort of controlling the tempo of this push, but I think if Reinhardt is able to get in really fast, then that's going to be kind of it for Ramatra.
Yeah, Reinhardt definitely has the upper hand here, I think, in closer combat. But Ramattra definitely can zone him out here and be really annoying in general. But we are going to see also one trick on, I think was on that Kiriko, but switches quickly back to that Lucio. Their rollout just going to roll straight out onto this statue here. We see a flank coming up from Pepto here. It's along with the ice wall, trying to find someone to catch out here, and they are kind of caught in a corner now.
Yeah, Nemesis mode coming out from Depressus. Gonna be able to just punch straight through Console Noob's shield. Immortality field forced down, but right in the open, Nemesis is gonna be able to pick that off here. But Sapphire doing a great job at establishing a hold here as they start to capture the first third of this point. Pepto's starting to move through the hotel, trying to find some picks here, but it's starting one trick and do good on their own as they find two. J-Man very close to death. Pepto just cannot hit those shots. Trying to line him up. Will be able to take down Omni. Depressus and J-Man fall soon after. And Sapphire, blitzing through this first point, are going to be able to capture it.
Right, especially with Cast, you're not going to hit every shot there, but the ones that you hit definitely matter, right? And I think with what we've seen so far, these players definitely, I mean, they have that potential to do that. And playing around this corner here, I think they're just going to have one of their supports push this cart and kind of just, you know, abuse the fact that Reinhardt, you just can't step up to him around that corner there. Ooh. The Deadeye comes out there looking for damage on Depressus. That wall proving to be very annoying.
Yeah, and he's going to be able to block all the shots. Amp Matrix coming out. Earthshatter ready for Console Noob, but he's not going to get the chance to use it as Omni picks up that kill along with the rest of his team. Asylum will be able to take down Depressus, but now in a sticky situation himself. Both teams just trading back and forth. One trick forced to fall back, but can't quite escape. Biso, Osiren going to fall soon after. A team kill from Newberry College, able to hold back in a really strong way as they take the arches back from Sapphire. Not going to let them push too far forward, and we've got a lot of ults on deck.
Yeah, they can definitely stall for a lot longer with these ultimates. If we're gonna get stuck there, going into ice mode, will get picked by Console Noob, and the big Earth Shatter is gonna find 3 there.
That was big. A complete opening just made by Console Noob as they find 4, continuing to just push Depressus back. He doesn't have his team with him. He's going to just try and hold off to the side and delay them for as long as possible as Sapphire start to close in on the finish line here. Newberry College are going to have one last chance to really rally up and try and play this defense. They need to push Sapphire back, and they definitely have the tools to do it here with 4 ultimates on deck. Sapphire only spent 1, but it is a big one to get rid of that Earth Shatter.
Right. And they're just holding onto it here. They have a last-ditch effort to kind of save this point here. Depressus is going to get caught there on 1 health, is going to end up falling. The beat comes out, kind of nullifying this blizzard here. Nemesis popping his visor, trying to find damage here. He just can't really line up shots, though. They're all hiding behind that cart there.
Yeah, that's tough. The visor into Reinhardt's always very tricky with that shield. Avery now the last one on the cart, trying to just delay for as long as possible as the rest of his team is still inside on second. Will be able to kind of crammed up in there, but Pepto's going to be able to take him out. The wall going up now as they try and get on this. The Annihilation coming through, but not quite quick enough. Sapphire are able to clinch that out before Newberry are able to come through with the team fight, bringing things 2-0 as they take King's Row.
Right, that is the second map for them there. Console Noob with that crazy Earth Shatter is going to get that play of the game.
And this is actually, this is just Omni able to hop out of the way, but just not quite able to make the difference there as he's not able to get around the corner. I was almost surprised to not see him get caught by the Earth Shatter. It feels like if you're just a little bit off the ground, it'll still catch you, but he was able to escape.
I totally thought it hit him there.
I know. Sapphire, great map though. Really, really great performance there. And I think the Reinhardt really kind of shook up Newberry. I don't think they were expecting that to really come out or work as well as it did. I was hoping to see it. I was not expecting to see it.
Yeah,
and I was not expecting to see it go that well for Sapphire. Right. That is a very tough matchup to play Reinhardt into Orisa or Ramattra, anything like that. And they were able to do it pretty well.
Right. Normally when you think of Reinhardt, he's kind of like the underdog. And you think like Ramattra, oh, he just punches or shit. Yeah. Right? Like it's almost like a counter matchup, it seems like. But definitely there are ways to kind of play around that, and I think that SNHU did a really good job of finding those ways to kind of exploit the weaknesses that their comp had.
I want to highlight in that last match how much work SNHU supports did, really right there, because we got to see some really interesting stuff. We saw them, kind of start to move away from the Kiriko Mercy duo support that a lot of teams have been running, moving over towards the Baptiste, the Lucio, and those just allow you to control the tempo of team fights so much. Amplification makes sure it's such a big kind of window opener, literally, and also in the sense of a team fight, just creating opportunities there, as well as the beat from Lucio and the speed boost are just great at controlling the speed of Reinhardt, how he's able to take fights, and how he's able to retreat as well, which is a big weakness for him. But let's go ahead and hop into our map overview. You see our third map of the night, set point for Sapphire. We're going to Circuit Royale.
Circuit Royale is definitely one of those maps that I definitely like a lot.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because it's so open. The sight lines are huge, and so you get to see a lot of snipers come out. Kind of almost sort of like a Junkertown type map. I think it's going to be interesting. You see Pepto and Osiren finally get the chance to play some snipers here. They haven't been able to do too much on stream yet, so getting the chance to see that Widowmaker come out, the Ashe come out, anything like that is all going to be perfect here in Circuit Royale, and I'm interested to see how they approach this as we go ahead and hop into game.
Yeah, I definitely...
I forgot it's daytime.
It's daytime now, right? And I am a big fan of this map, but I think the daytime's better than nighttime.
It's a little bit controversial, right? Because I feel like every map looks good at night. Night is just an appealing thing, but I love the midday look of Circuit Royale. It just looks so much more like a very appealing kind of tourist town. I really like it.
Right.
And I'm excited to get to see it more as we get into the later half of the map.
Yeah, I mean, I'd go on vacation here.
Oh, absolutely. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Makes the colors really pop on the buildings, too.
Exactly.
I love it.
Yeah. But we are going to see, though... Oh, I was thinking, I knew they were going to do double sniper.
Okay.
The double sniper. And exactly what I expected from Console Noob. They're going to have that Sigma to provide that cover for the double sniper. Sorry. Tongue twister there.
Sigma versus Sigma is an interesting mirror, just because Sigma is such a pro at taking and holding space with that shield that's able to go out, and also his sort of tools at range really effective in both those roles. So Sigma versus Sigma is very much just that very heavy skill matchup there. Nemesis getting a quick glimpse of Osiren there. The sniper duel begins. This is going to be exactly the theme of this match going forward.
Right, it's kind of just a matter of who can contest those angles better and win those duels out. It's going to be definitely interesting to kind of see that. Siren already landing those headshots as well.
Just trying to boost in here and find this Tracer, getting behind Constanoob, not going to be able to though. The Mortality Field from One Trick is going to go down. So they start to contest here around this corner. Every time I hear those Widowmaker shots, I feel like I'm ducking my head down. It is scary, and every single time one of those goes off, that's potentially just a backliner that is instantly dead and almost took the head off of One Trick there if it weren't for Console shield. Really nicely done. Siren not quite able to pick off Avery yet, trying to, but having a tough time. Is going to get body shot there. We'll fire one back, but not quite the same effectiveness as Pepto tries to lay some suppressive fire over there.
Yeah, Avery is going to be annoying to deal with for these snipers here. Definitely wreaking havoc in the backline. And Pepto kind of, I feel like, has the kind of angle of the corner down there. Is going to be able to provide a lot of pressure. If you step out at the wrong time, that arrow could just, come take your head clean off there. And that is a one-hit kill. Depressus is going to be able to find Osiren there, forcing SNHU to kind of back up here. A lot of pressure coming out from both of them. J-Man looking kind of low there.
Just barely not dying to that second arrow there. Pepto is going to be able to take down Omni. We'll get taken out by Depressus here as Newberry close in on our first checkpoint. Concept just trying to hold on to the high ground here, and Concept actually got taken out there, and that's what allowed Newberry to find so much space. He's going to try and get down here to contest, hop in the hands, trying to just stay alive, but not a lot of healing coming through. He's going to end up going down to J-Man on that contest attempt. Avery also finding that pick onto Osiren, and this Tracer is really going to be a problem for the double sniper composition here. Both Pepto and Osiren having a really tough time just locking down Avery. We'll be able to get that pick with the mine though from Osiren. Get a little bit of extra damage on there. Dragon Strike coming through. Just kind of sending it out to zone them back, try and slow them down as much as possible. Try and cut them off from each other, but not too much going on right now. Hands coming out from Depressus, or Flux coming out. He tries to catch them. Won't be able to as Osiren finds that pick. Another Flux coming out from Constanoob here. Send an Omni straight up. We'll be able to find that pick as they force them on the retreat.
right? And when you have, I feel like I can't, exaggerate the synergy of these comps enough. When you have, right, that force movement for the snipers, it's just easy headshots, right, with the Sigmas. And the ultimate as well from Widowmaker along with Hanzo, like that's exactly what Hanzo wants.
Yeah, absolutely. It just allows them, get those pre-fire shots in and get those easy targets there. Pepto gonna be able to take down J-Man here. J-Man's gotta be really scared. Zenyatta into the double sniper composition is just terrifying, and especially as Newberry switch off of that Tracer and off of the Widowmaker over to Genji Sojourn, I think that means Biso is gonna be in for a little bit of a scare once those DPS start to get out onto the front line.
Right, yeah, and Constant Noob doing a very good job of finding a lot of cover for his team to step up around this corner. Pepto finding that cheeky shot on J-Man. Those headshots just going to be deadly against them. Looking for more. He's going to be able to fire a few shots around that corner there. Not really finding much, but definitely providing the pressure that SNHU needs right now.
I mean, this is a big thing that SNHU are really choosing to sit right here, and J-Man's going to get taken out through that window, but the teleport has come out from Newberry as they get onto the high ground. Osiren trying to reclaim a little bit of height, not quite able to find the shot he needs, though. Pepto's going to get taken out, forcing the Transcendence out from Biso to keep the rest of his team alive, constantly right in the middle of everyone. The teleporter coming out, just trying to get back up onto Osiren. Biso isn't going to be able to save him, will be able to counter, take down Nemesis, now just trying to punch out Avery here. He's getting healed from the backline, though. Very, very tough situation. Being constant getting hit with that anti-heal grenade at 30 health remaining. It's a death sentence right there. Now One Trick's behind enemy lines with that huge shield up coming from Symmetra. Discord coming out. They're just trying to lock him down. He's doing a good job of staying alive though, but the moment the Nemesis wants to get up there, it's going to be scary.
He's just a one-man army standing his ground here all alone and is going to be able to find a pick. When are they going to deal with him?
It seems like they're really torn between these two lines here. Avery's going to be finally able to take him out there, but the damage has already been done, and that really slowed down Newberry quite a lot here. For Siren almost taking his own head off there with that deflect coming through from Nemesis.
Yeah, those reflexes are pretty impressive there. The Flux coming out, gonna find Pepto there.
An opportunity to continue to move forward here. Constantly going to get slept out of the air before he can use Flux, and that is catastrophic here. Trying to stay alive in the Immortality field, but just cannot keep himself up. Avery able to find that kill as they continue to push forward here. Nemesis and Depressus just taking so much space from the team, and the teleport comes out. Once again, Avery finding that high ground immediately just on the flank. So tough to deal with if you're not immediately aware of it. That can be really, really hard when you've got people like Nemesis and like Depressus who are just taking up all of your attention on the front line.
Right, and we're going to see that switch come out from Pepto there on to the Tracer. He's going to be able to provide a lot more pressure for those flanks, and it definitely is going to, I feel like he's going to be able to deal with Avery here a lot better on the Tracer rather than Alonso and Osiren and Tracer working together there to take out Avery.
Osiren now in a great position to start to control this field down here. Constantly be able to find that pick on a Nemesis, and that's going to be a flanker down for Newberry as Sapphire start to go on the flank on their own. Pepto in the back line. Hit with that Discord, got to be careful, but he's going to be able to find Omni. J-Man in a rough spot. Pulse Bomb going a little bit wide. Depressus got the Discord on him, though, and he's going to end up going it down there. So Siren finds that pick onto J-Man. Things are looking good for Sapphire. Finally found a turn of good luck as they're able to push Newberry back. Looking scary.
Looking for him. He has that deflect ready, so it's really just a matter of predicting when he's going to shoot there.
We see now Nemesis just trying to get on the sideline here. The ping comes out from Sapphire, the communication on point as they start to move forward here, but the teleporter forces Pepto back down. Amplification Matrix comes up in this doorway, but so does the Dragon Blade, the Nano Blade that is, the Transcendence coming through, as well as the Immortality Field, just trying to keep them alive as Nemesis backs off here, kind of forced to just disengage from that ultimate, and that's 2 ults down the drain, 2 really, really big playmaking ones as well. As Sapphire continue to push up, Osiren gonna be able to find J-Man there, and Nemesis able to get that shot off before he goes down. Avery will trade that one right back out, but with the Depressus down, Newberry don't have a lot of options other than just disengage.
Yeah, finding those 2 picks is going to be big. Pushing back Newberry here. Their time is ticking down here. They have 50 seconds on the clock. It is not a lot of time to make this third push viable here.
Ooh. Nemesis right in the middle of everything, but will get taken out as Biso finds a double kill. Pepto and Osiren gonna find two of their own. Just one man standing, just Depressus, but he is gonna get taken out by that Flux. Noob finding that kill. It's a team kill from Sapphire. 30 seconds left on the clock. Just about one push left from Newberry College if they play this right.
Right, they're really gonna make everything count here. They don't have a lot of time. They probably have enough time for one push here. So really, every second matters.
You see Depressus pushing forward, using those hands to block off those shots. Osiren just barely missing these heads. Flux going to come out from Depressus, trying to go in on the backline. Pepto pulse bomb, not going to be able to find anything off of that. Osiren's trying to stay alive, but Avery's turret is going to be able to take him down, force him back. A really good hold up here on the high ground from Newberry as they find 3 kills. Sapphire being forced back into their spawn. We're in overtime now as Newberry start to close in on the final points.
Right, the supports are going to have to run around here, get to the regroup. If they do get picked here, it could be pretty devastating. But it seems like they're going around here, maybe looking for a flank. Osiren now on the soldier. Different hit scan, looking for kind of that consistent DPS. Is going to be able to find that turret. Nemesis finding console move there.
That is rough. Biso just barely shy of Transcendence as well. If he gets that, it's going to be a great opportunity to contest, and he does get it, but Newberry are able to push it in all the way before Sapphire really get the chance to contest there. A great round from Newberry, really getting to see some of the strengths of their team here, and just a lot of the way they're able to control space and play around their flankers. Super impressive here.
Right, they made that 3-point push there, a pretty good push. They did make it on overtime there, so SNHU could take this to an overtime game here for the set point. But I definitely think during that last push there, they really were pushing for that kind of window on the side there to kind of hold them. But they just did a really good job of, prioritizing the cart and pushing past that despite the damage coming out.
The communication from Newberry is also so key in how they're dealing with Console Noob. The moment that Console Noob is out of position, that is, you can see Newberry, all of them, instantly just lock on. The anti-heal nade comes out, and they just walk at him. And if you're Sigma, there's not a lot you can really do to stop people from walking at you if you're all on your own. If you're with your team, that's a different story. You can put up cover for them, they can try and cover you, they can push the other team back, force that kind of that sort of line of scrimmage back in the other direction. But Sigma all on his own, very, very tough to actually avoid situations like that from happening. So we get started off in this attacking side here for Sapphire, though. Look at these team compositions. A lot of what we saw last time here, but Newberry College not running any snipers at all.
Yeah, they're going to opt for that Cass and Torbjorn there. Definitely think Torbjorn is pretty good, but into a sniper, I think it might be a little bit lackluster there.
Siren trying to find this angle. Shield going to go down for Depressus. Is able to find some big damage there. Immediately the healing starts to come out as well as the Suzu, but he has now kind of locked himself off from the rest of his team, and you see him take so much damage. SNHU so quick to lock onto that and capitalize as Console starts to run forward here. Rock not quite able to get around that corner, but look at how much space he is taking just by being there. Newberry College, when they don't have their tank with them, they cannot afford to really, kind of get situated.
Right, they're kind of working with that slow push there, buying as much space as they can here. If they do make it around this corner there, it could be pretty big. They have that ledge to work off of, but it really doesn't mean that much when you have Osiren on it. That Widowmaker is pretty easy to pick people off that ledge there.
Depressus goes down again. Nemesis gets picked off. So does Avery. It's just these two supports left, which means SNHU are going to have pretty free reign. Just continue to push things up here. Siren, gotta be careful. They're only 100 health left, and trying to challenge the supports like that could get a little scary, a little quick, but they're able to push through them, take Omni down. Newberry College, you're going to see the swap come out as they go over to Winston here, trying to play a little bit more aggressive, trying to just run at Sigma here. We'll see how this works out for them here as Pepto in the back line, close to building up the pulse bomb, will be able to get it, is able to stick it onto Depressus, and he just gets nuked.
That is so much pressure relief there on SNHU. They're going to be able to push up so far here. In the cart, I mean, it's somewhere behind them between second and third there, or first and second there.
is just slowly pushing up here. This is a scary spot to be in with Constanoob having Flux up and ready. Be really careful, and he is going to pop it, is going to be able, he caught one person in that, but Omni now in an awkward spot. Suzu going to come out, able to protect him and Avery. The Presses goes down. Another great pick there from Biso, relieving a lot of pressure. Pepto will end up getting picked off there by J-Man as he finds that headshot, but one trick Constanoob fire right back, taking two of their own. Now Avery's in a weird spot right now, going to pop the overload, trying to just stay alive and fall back behind. Will be able to get back with the rest of the team, but SNHU are pushing up on second here. Newberry are going to need to contest very, very soon. Doesn't look like they'll get the chance to, because SNHU find that time extension.
Yeah, they have 5 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock. That is so much time to work with here. Constanoob getting microwaved here. He's gonna look pretty low there. He's gonna buy as much time as he can here on the point. And it seems like he has one trick just keeping him alive behind him here. Now one trick in the line of sight of Depressus is gonna go berserk here looking for Constanoob.
They're in their spawn rooms, though. They're getting that spawn room healing throughout this entire team fight. I almost think it's a little bit too forward for Newberry to really hold. If Sapphire are able to shoot them while inside of their heal zone here, we'll see. Newberry get pushed back, though. We'll see the Molten Core come out from Avery. He tries to get that out there, tries to establish that down. Constanoob taking a lot of fire up front. Transcendix coming out from Biso to keep him up and alive. Presses now separated from the rest of his team a little bit. That shield coming out to block off his healers. Now as he dives back in, he is nano boosted. A scary situation to be in. Will be able to take down that immortality field, but he will get taken out himself here as J-Man follows suit. Nemesis trying to push up, but the Deadeye not going to find too much value. Actually going to find him dead as Constanoob is able to push up and capitalize on that positioning. Sapphire are getting extremely close to the final point here, and they still have 4.5 minutes left.
Yeah, I really like the way that they dedicate people to kind of pushing them off their tank there and also separating, just body blocking. Depressus there is going to be able to find them. They are so good with communication here at finding these picks here and really focusing down one target, or even, you know, delegating multiple people to kind of, you know, warding off damage from Constanoob.
Constanoob here taking a very aggressive hold here. Amplification Matrix comes out, but Depressus immediately starts to hop up here on a sliver of health left. Will be able to just barely get out, but he goes right back in and finds himself getting demacked. Still alive, but not for long, as Constanoob is able to finish him off here. Some other kills coming out from Sapphire as they continue to push forward here. J-Man in his spawn, getting shredded by Pepto right now, can barely stay alive. The Kitsune Rush comes out, but J-Man goes down as Biso finds that double kill. Omni goes down, and Sapphire find that final cap with 4.5 minutes left. That is a crazy amount of time in the bank compared to Newberry here. Going to get bumped up to 1 minute, but that is not a lot.
Right, yeah, round 3 here going into overtime. Newberry I almost said Newberry Comics is going to have a 1 minute on the clock here to make their push. No extensions at all.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough for them to deal with this. I mean, they had a good attacking side, though. They were able to kind of push up a decent way onto this first point here with not a lot of time being spent, but Sapphire, that is just a daunting amount of time. It is going to be such a struggle for Newberry to be able to hold on here, and keep in mind, this is set point right here for Sapphire. If Sapphire take this, and they're very skewed towards this with the amount of time they have, that's it.
Right, yeah. It is not a lot of wiggle room here for Newberry. They are kind of running on fumes here with their time too as well. But it's always possible for them to make this back here. And I feel like it really comes down to their defense side, right? It really comes down to how long can they keep SNHU in their spawn here is what's going to buy them the most time in order to win this. But seems like SNHU is going back to the over-reliable Siren on that Widowmaker. Nemesis also going to try to match him here.
Finds a little bit of damage there onto Biso as things open up here. Constantly very far forward. Siren not quite able to find the damage he needs on Depressus here as he starts to fall back. Constantly just continuing to push up. Trying to find something here as the Discord Orbs go out, cutting a lot of health out of the equation here. Constantly sidestepping that rock, doing a nice job on that. Pepto on the turret run, looking for just this full hold here on the turret, trying to just get as much damage out as he can. Not trying to worry about too much here other than just burning down the clock. It's going to be the name of the game here for Sapphire. Avery is going to get taken out by Pepto there. Gonna be the first pick as Nemesis follows suit. Depresses doesn't have a lot of health left, and he's caught off to the side. Will go down as Console Noob finds that pick. J-Man also going down. Just 10 seconds left for Newberry College. Are they gonna be able to get out of their spawn in time? Just 5 seconds left now. It's looking unlikely. It's gonna be down to Nemesis here on the Tracer to try and push up, but just unfortunately can't make it, and that is not a lot of distance.
Right, they made it 34 meters there. Is going to be a little bit of space there, but Newberry's basically going to have to spawn hold SNHU here in order to keep them back from capturing that point at 34 meters.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. They just have so much time to work with. And Sapphire, I mean, they can just play a hyper-aggressive composition and smash themselves into Newberry over and over until they really find enough space here. Newberry are going to have to go with a really tough full-hold composition. And that's going to be very tough to deal with here on the first point of Circuit Royale. It is kind of not geared for that sort of situation.
Yeah, and it seems like that is what they're going for here. We're going to see a Siren on that. Farah actually is going to be a little bit more of an aggressive pick here. We're going to see kind of more of a brawl comp with, oh, well, I did see one trick on that, sorry.
Mercy.
Right, no, I know that's Mercy.
This is interesting because I mean the strongest part about Pharmacy, which actually doesn't look like they're going to run after all, but the strong part about Farah and those kind of flying characters in general is that really big sense of the element of surprise. The moment you roll out of spawn, you gotta be very, very careful about that, especially with Newberry. They don't really have a lot of ways to deal with these flyers, so Siren can find a ton of value right away. Actually going over the top. He's behind them all right now, just raining down onto the backline and forcing them back, pushing Depresses forward. He's getting shredded down, and the shield goes up from Console to cut off the healers. The tank is down for Newberry. They are losing space rapidly here as Avery goes down as well. The rest of them continue to push forward, and it is not even a chance for Newberry to get their bearings there. Sapphire just pushing straight through. What a great game from them.
Right, and that's game, set, and match for SNHU. 3 points on the docket here is going to take them the win here.
Really, really solid play overall from Sapphire. We got to see some great maps out of Newberry. I mean, it looked like things were going really strong for them as they started off on Circuit Royale, but unfortunately just not enough time in the bank. Took a little bit too long, and Sapphire were able to just do it so much faster that it was really tough for them to actually be able to keep up. So, I mean, overall, just a really great play from both sides, but Sapphire doing a fantastic job on those 3 maps. Really just standout play.
Yeah, I really like the way that they were communicating tonight, too. They did a really good job of having those focus priorities down. And especially focusing down their tank there. Just did such a good job of actually keeping him, away from his team there and always finding him out of position, I think.
That was the big thing, really, is the moment that Newberry stepped out of position. It's the same thing we saw in Lijiang Tower, where it's just that kind of few key mistakes that SNHU immediately noticed and immediately capitalized on. Right. Every single time that they saw just the slightest slip up, they sunk their teeth in. They did not let go. That final point on Circuit Royale, I mean, just barely step a little bit too far forward, just don't expect the flyer to come out, don't expect Farah to come out, and not a lot you can really do in that situation. Just that element of surprise and how quickly SNHU react to just these slight missteps is crazy dangerous.
And you can really tell they did not expect the Farah there because they locked into Hanzo instead of Widowmaker, right? If they had the Widowmaker,
it would have been a completely different situation.
Yeah. And that's just the element of surprise there when you're on attacker's side. I think they read them right there. And, it cost them the win there.
Yeah.
Right? It just led into a domino effect that they just, ended up team killing and getting that space that they needed for the win. But, every single map just immaculate here from SNHU, which we're going to take a look at here right now.
Let's go. Ooh.
Right now.
I'm hearing chatter back from the production room. Let's see. Yeah, this is our final score here. as SNHU. Very, very strong win here. Looking really great on a lot of these maps. I think especially kind of that King's Row, we got to see a lot of really surprising play come out from them. Got to see the Reinhardt come through. Really, really interesting stuff. Let's go and hop over to player stats. Check that out. Going to be our player of the match is the birthday boy himself, Osiren. 86 eliminations, 14 deaths, 30% scoped headshot rate. Really, really great play tonight from him.
86 on the scoreboard there. That is a big number there for the birthday boy. And well-deserved here in the arena tonight is going to be the winner.
Yeah, I mean, just really fantastic play. Osiren definitely a key player to highlight there, but the entire team played out of their mind tonight. I think everyone was kind of firing on all cylinders. I didn't see really any sort of sloppy play. I didn't see any slack coming out from really anyone. Just really, really strong plays overall. So great job from Sapphire tonight. Great job to Osiren. Happy birthday to him. Happy birthday to him. I think we have an interview with the birthday boy himself. Come on up. Come on up. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to kick you out of here. Hey, what's up? You gotta put the headset on. They can't hear you yet.
Really?
How's it going?
Good. It's my birthday.
Good match to play on your birthday.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are looking really strong this season. Yeah. I think. How are you feeling about the team? The kind of shake up on the roster, seeing a little bit of new thing come out here. Feeling good?
I feel really good about it. All the guys really want to compete. We all want to get 5-man out there, get on the ice, get out there, and we all really want to compete. And that's what you need. You need 5 guys out there, and
you can tell. I mean, everyone's definitely really excited to kind of see how this season pans out. Everyone's really excited to play with this kind of framework. Feeling good on DPS? That's a little bit of a role switch up for you.
Yeah. A lot of Kovacs. Twitter.com/SevSevSev for aim coaching. It works.
You have been going really hard on the aim training, like all season, and I think it's definitely been paying off here. And I just got one last question for you. Mm-hmm. What's your favorite flavor of birthday cake?
You guys gonna get a birthday cake for me? Oh my god!
It doesn't have anything on it, but it's red velvet.
It's red velvet cake.
I hope that's your favorite flavor.
It is my favorite flavor.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, might as well. A great match for you to play on your birthday.
Yeah.
Overall, really great stuff tonight. But that's gonna be all for us for the night. Thanks for putting on a great show.
Yeah.
Thanks for sitting up here. Thanks for getting a birthday cake, and thanks for missing my high five. It's okay. It's all right. That's all for us tonight. We'll be back tomorrow with Rocket League at 8 p.m. But if you're on campus, if you're in the arena, we'll be knitting at noon. We'll be knitting from 12 to 3 for charity. So feel free to come on down, help out with that if you feel like giving back to the community a little bit. That's everything that's going on tomorrow. Rocket League stream at 8 p.m. But on Saturday, we also have GSG. You can't dodge the birthday hat.
I mean, heck off. My bad. No.
We got GSG tomorrow. Doors open at 1 p.m. Games start at 2 p.m. Signups are welcome at the door. Be sure to check that out if you're interested. GSG is always a super fun time. That's all for us tonight. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 8 p.m. for Rocket League.
Peach!